This is my straight out of the cinema review of the Odyssey, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Oh my god, he has done it again. Christopher Nolan has added another masterpiece to his filmmaking career with the Odyssey, and I'm generally quite speechless, to be honest, because the cast and the crew have done such an amazing job with this film. It feels epic, a proper fantasy epic that feels like it could have been made, 20 odd years ago, and it would still have the same feel. And I feel like we've kind of lost these fantasy historical epics. They seem to be sort of a thing of the past a bit more now. We seem to be more sort of action focused or horror focused, or just sort of sci-fi focused. But these sort of historical sort of dramas just sort of seem to just disappear, and this has definitely brought it back, and I really, really, really want to see more. The cast was absolutely brilliant. Everyone was on point. And in terms of cast, I mean, there's so many people in this movie. You got Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Elliot Page, Robert Pattinson, Anne Hathaway, Mia Goth, Zendaya, many, 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 many more. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on. There are so many people in this movie, and it just seems to follow a trend now of you not just get 1 or 2 stars in the film, you get about 15, and it just, with a top tier cast, makes the film so much more better, because everyone's performing at the top of their game, especially in this with Christopher Nolan, and I know he pushes them to the limit, and it definitely fucking pays off. I mean, I don't understand the controversial casting behind this. Whatever it was, comments were made online about choices of like wardrobe and who's playing what role, but to be honest with you, it didn't really make much of a difference, because it just worked really, really well, and the way that they've put the story out and the way that they've paced this, it doesn't matter. You don't really notice it. Everything fits into place nicely. Speaking of story, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a bit more focused on Troy to start off with, then the sort of the journey back home, but obviously it was more about the journey back home overall, with Troy parts placed in between. It does like to go from one part of the story into another part of the story, then someone else telling another part of the story, which then leads on to something else and something else and something else, and then goes back to sort of the original part, if that makes any sense at all. And this was really good, but also at the same time, it's one of those ones where if you sort of didn't quite pay attention to what was going on, then it would probably, if you dipped out for like a minute or two and then something changes completely, you could probably lose it a little bit. But I was so gripped and so concentrating on what's going on, I completely followed everything of where it's going. And when it grips you like that, it just absolutely flies by. This felt like it was like a 2-hour movie, not, nearly pushing 3. The pacing was absolutely brilliant. The bits that they covered, which is obviously from the Tales of Odysseus, that we all know, that you learn in your history lessons, the myths that are covered with sort of like the Cyclops and the Sirens and all that sort of thing is all covered within the movie, and they really do a good job of showing all of those parts, and then intercutting that with obviously various different characters and how that slowly starts to all build up, obviously, to the end of the movie. In terms of like action, there was plenty. Everything just about this was absolutely on point, and this is definitely a 5-star movie, 100% a 5-star movie. If you get a chance to check it out, definitely would recommend. I really want to see it in IMAX if possible. Only saw it at the normal cinema, but unfortunately there's not really an IMAX near me, so I imagine that would look absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you're into the strange brand and form of entertainment, that is myself, then consider hitting that subscribe button. And this is my straight out of the cinema, sort of spoiler-free review of the Odyssey. See you soon.